Hey guys, this is my new comics haul from the month of December. It's basically the last 5 weeks or so, and it's only graphic novels and hardcovers and collections. So I will do this quickly because I don't have much time. The first bunch is stuff that I bought from cheapcomics.com, and it was mostly on sale or remaindered. Uh, Adventures, Marvel Adventures, SpiderMan. This was for free. This is something for my son. It's a little digest. Um, the Bounce by Joe Casey. I always like Joe Casey. I really enjoy his book. He does with Image Sex. And this is another superhero story, but yeah, I think it's worthwhile. I read a little bit about it, and it sounds nice. Manifest Destiny. Haven't read the first trade, but I bought the second one. Um, Love Struck by Dennis Hopeless. Hopeless. Don't know much about this one. This was like just trying out something new. It's black and white. It's from Image Comics. Yeah, we'll see. The first two volumes of Sheltered. Never was much interested in another post-apocalyptic zombie-like setting, but it's by Ed Brisson, and I just recently read his the first issue of his new series, The Violent, and I loved it very much. So I thought, okay, why not give it a shot? It was fairly cheap. Yeah. Next Testament, Volume 2 by Mark Miller. It's by Clive Barker. The story is by Clive Barker. It's about a very Old Testamentarian god, a very fearful and man, you could say an evil god coming back to humanity, and just having fun with them in a nasty way. I really like the first volume, so yeah, I'm eager to check out this one. It's a finished series by now. I think there are like 3 or 4 volumes of it. Seven Soldiers of Victory by Grant Morrison with different artists. It's a bunch of miniseries Grant Morrison did. I think it's already 10 years ago. Those are like 2 hardcovers, and collecting those. I remember them being pretty nice, not overwhelmingly so, but those were also like 15 euros each, and I'm really eager to collect anything by Morrison. Maybe it's a bit too much to buy everything he did, because like every artist he also has minor works, but hey, this is Avengers Omnibus. I swore to myself that I will never buy Silver Age or Golden Age stuff because I will never read it, but this was on sale, and I have a very special fondness for Avengers and Fantastic Four, because they were some of my very first comics I read, so yeah, I had to give it a shot. Squadron Supreme on the other side, I'm really looking to buy this one for quite some time. I know they're releasing a new omnibus now, for which I don't care a lot. I just want to have the Maxi series by Mark Greenwald. It's a bit like Marvel's version of The Watchmen. Probably not that profound, but it was released before The Watchmen, in fact, and it's this kind of deconstructionist, you know, to deconstruct the superhero myth, this kind of tale, and the failures of the humans behind the mask. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Kid Eternity, again by Grant Morrison. It's hardcover, and Duncan Figueredo, an artist which I like very much. He did Enigma with Peter Milligan, and yeah, I don't know. I really liked the series back in the days by Anon Santi. Um, so yeah, I don't know what to expect from this one, but I bought it. Black River by Josh Simmons, released by Fantagraphics, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You can't spot it anywhere. Oh, it's here. Fantagraphics, yes. It's um, it's one of the graphic novel highlights of the year. Um, I haven't read anything of it. I don't know the artist, but I trust Fantagraphics. They release a lot of great stuff, and I haven't bought too much from them this year. So I think this is one of their best releases, and yeah, I will dig into this very soon. This I got from my mother. Really nice of her. It's European graphic novel. It's an adaptation of Herman Melville's Moby Dick. And normally I don't go for this kind of stuff. And I mean, I didn't buy it for myself. My mother did. But yeah, it's really nicely drawn. I was really impressed by the drawings. And I haven't read the original, so maybe I will read it in comic form first. And yeah, it's a great Christmas gift. Thanks, Mom. Um, this is a slipcase edition of the Nemo Trilogy. Um, it's 3 books. You can see it better like this. It's 3 books by Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill. The character from League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen got his own spin-off series. I haven't read anything of it, but like with Grant Morrison, I just buy Alan Moore for the name alone. And I think I would have preferred this to be in a slightly oversized format, but it was super cheap, so it's cool. This is something of eBay, Clandestine versus Xmen. It's not the greatest comic ever, probably, but it's by Alan Davis, and I really love to read his Excalibur back in the day, and it was super cheap, I think, €1 or €2, so I gave it a shot. I think you can also have it in hardcover from Marvel Premiere, but I don't care. This is The Realest by Asaf Hanuka. I think this I bought like already 5 or 6 weeks ago in my local comic shop. He's an Israeli artist. I think they're like 2 brothers. I'm not sure, but I think they're 2 brothers, and this is one of them. And I really love the artwork. The artwork is fantastic. You can see it here. It's really, really great. And it's a well-built book. It's a nice hardcover by Titan Books, I think. No, Archaia. So I really can't wait to read this. I'm not so much into boxer stories, but who cares if it's well told? Yeah, I like Rutu Modan too, who's also an Israeli artist, and I hope that this goes in a similar direction. Yes, we'll see about that. The Harapophiles. It's an Indian book. I don't know much about the Indian comic culture. It's not a classical comic per se. You can see there are parts who are more like illustrations with text, but there are also like very comic booky episodes in it too. Yeah, so like I said, I don't know what to expect. I read about it in Paul Gravitt's thousand comics you should read until you die, and it sounded interesting, so I bought it off eBay, I think. This was a recommendation on a blog. It's not super nicely drawn, I have to say. It's very sparse and very rough, but it's a kind of maybe not very beautiful drawing or penciling that I personally like, because It has a very atmospheric feel to it, and I think it's something like a Twin Peaks kind of story. It's a mystery noir story, and I always dig those. This one I already reviewed, I think, a few weeks ago, in another film I shot. Who Can Never Go Home is by Black Mask. I wasn't very psyched about it. I have to tell you. It had a lot of hype for going on for it. It's but just another story of young people becoming getting superpowers and hitting it off. It's not bad, but it's if you want to read this kind of story, you should just buy like Demo by Brian Wood or Harbinger by Joshua Dysart. This is not it. Sculpt, Volume 3, the hardcover edition by Vertigo. I really like the first two volumes, can't wait for the third. Colonia, this one I bought in a comic shop in Amsterdam, where I was recently. It's by Jeff Nicholson, who wrote Through the Happy Trails, a graphic novel that I enjoyed very much. And this is more like an all-age version of very psychedelic story, I think, because you can tell from the cover it's not your normal kid story. And yeah, I read like the first, you can see like the first 10 pages of it or 20, and it's really fun. Richard Starks Parker, also remaindered from Tube Comics. I never read any of those adaptations by Darwin Cook, and they're supposed to be really good, so I gave it a shot. Human Target, Volume 2, Vertigo Comics. It's by Peter Milligan, and I always like his writing style. And I remember to really dig this series back in the day. It's Volume 2, so now I have to get Volume 1 too. But yeah, I'm really a sucker for like 90s or early noughties Vertigo Comics. I think they were the best. So let's continue. Ragnarok by Walter Simonson. It's like he's returning to this whole Nordic mythic stuff he's really famous for from his Thor run back in the 80s. And I mean, it's nicely done. Of course, it's he's a master of his craft, obviously. But I think it's not exactly the comic for me. I don't know why I bought it. I pre-ordered it some time ago and I forgot all about it. I will read it, of course, but yeah, it's this kind of fantasy storytelling that I'm not the biggest fan of. Here I have off eBay 5 out of 6 volumes of The Question by Dennis O'Neil and Dennis Cohen. The sad thing is like the first volume is missing. My bid wasn't high enough, and I forgot also about it because I would have paid more for it. But yeah, whatever. I will have to get this. It's out of print, so it won't be easy to get. I had never read anything of the series, but I read about it, and I think it's this kind of late 80s, early 90s DC stuff that I really dig, like Spectre or Suicide Squad or The Demon, or there were like a bunch of series who then later moved on to Vertigo, like Swamp Thing and Hellblazer. And I think it falls into this category, and yeah, I can't wait to dig into this, but I have to get the first volume. The Spectre, yes, also off eBay. It's out of print. It's really pretty hard to get, and I paid just €5 or so for it. It's black and white, of course, like the Showcase series is. And like I told you in the beginning, I don't really care too much about Silver Age stuff, but this is supposed to be like super dark stuff and super sick stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to sample it. Copra, number 1, volume 1 by Michael Five. I think volume 3 is being released soon. So I'm way behind on this. It's supposed to be like an indie take on superheroes, and I always dig those. I also really like the drawings, and yeah, this is one that I'm looking forward to for a long time already. It was not easy to get, but yeah, now I have it, and hopefully I will read it soon. Wolf, Volume 1. Image Comics, it's by Scott. Still undecided on how I like or don't like his writing, but this is probably I should know after this because I have so much stuff by him just bought on spec and haven't read it yet, so I should decide soon so that I know. This is also off eBay. I should probably unpack it so you can see it. It's Supreme by Alan Moore. It's the complete run in 2 trade paperbacks. And I don't know, it's probably not his most famous work, or maybe not even his best. But like I told you, there are like certain artists, authors that I will always just buy everything they made, and Alan Moore obviously is one of them. So here we go. Oh, come on. Really sorry for that. Okay, here we have it. So it's volume 1 and 2. I know that at least one of those is out of print already. I don't know which one. It's by Checker Books, so it's really strange, you know, that it was never released properly. I mean, it's an Alan Moore book, and it's also really nicely drawn and everything, and it got some fame in his days. And I'm really surprised that it didn't get more, you know, a nicer release in a hardcover or something, maybe a little omnibus. But yeah, who cares? I bought it for 20 euros both. It's a good price, and now I can read it. So more stuff that I bought off eBay. This is the final inkle. It's still shrink wrapped. I paid I think under 20 euros for this, which is fantastic because normally it's 100 euros. And I also think it's OP, you can get it anywhere. This is the last chapter in the Inkle series, which was by Jodorowsky and Möbius. Möbius unfortunately died a few years ago, and Ladron took over. You may know him from his cooperation with Joe Casey on Gutland for Image Comics. So yeah, I think it's great to have those books in oversized editions, but they're super fucking expensive. It's 100 bucks for each book, and yeah, I have the other parts of the Inkle in smaller editions, and it's not easy to read them because the lettering is really small, and also like especially Möbius artwork is really nice to have it oversized. This is another book from Humanoids, Meta Barons Genesis Kastaka, also still shrink wrapped, also in this limited edition, oversized hardcover edition. So this is one of my best buys in the last few months. It's also from eBay, and I should have gotten more of those because there were more of them, but my bid was really low. I was like, yeah, I don't really need it, blah blah blah. But I mean, to have Möbius in oversized, it's worth the money, you know. And I paid for this under 20 euros, and I should have gotten the other ones. Yeah, it's always like that, you know. You have something, but you want more. Yeah, it's still shrink wrapped. I won't open it now, but I mean, we all know that Möbius is a great artist. And this is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I bought it used from Amazon. It's out of print, it's hard to get. It normally goes for $150 to $200, and I got it for $75 plus shipping. I was a bit stupid because when I got it, I unpacked it and it looked perfect, and then it fell off my hands and it has a little thing here now, but I mean, it's not that bad. But what is bad, and I wasn't expecting this, somehow I thought both miniseries are included here, but it's not like that. You basically pay 75 or now over $100 for just one really thin, oversized book. I mean, it's super nice to read it in oversized because Kevin O'Neill's artwork is very, very fine and a very thin brushstroke, and yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but still, it's so fucking expensive. And now I have to get volume 2 too, but it's not out of print, so that won't be that bad. And yeah, the second volume in here is just Alan Moore's script, as you can see here. So, I don't know what to think about that. But now I have it, and yeah, it's okay. So, those were my collected editions that I bought for the last 5 or 6 weeks. I will return the next days with some more reviews of single issue comics and some paperbacks. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye bye.